Modernity is here. There is something special and unique about modern times. Diversity is a household name. Diversity is everywhere. Diversity is at home, in your neighborhood, in your school, where you work, where you do shopping, where you go for jogging or for a walk, where you travel, in the aircraft, on land, in high seas, literally everywhere. We have women, we have men, we have children, we have the aged, we have people from a diversity of cultures, ethnicities, races, backgrounds, and social statuses. So diversity is everywhere. We all need to learn to coexist in harmony and peace. Do you think somebody is an enemy just because that person comes from a different ethnicity or nationality or background or gender? You are wrong. Do you think somebody is an enemy just because that person is doing better than you or looks smarter than you? You are wrong. Nobody is an enemy. In school, children may be tempted that a child who is brighter and does better or talks nicely in class is their enemy. That child is not an enemy. That child is a classmate, a colleague. At work, people may think a new employee or a person from another race or from another ethnicity or nationality is an enemy because such a person looks smarter, more intelligent, more creative. Well, that person is not an enemy, that is a colleague. We may have an office where you have people from one gender and you have one lady. That lady happens to be a colleague. She's not an enemy. Nobody should be intimidated by the presence of that lady. If the lady is smarter, brighter, more creative, well, she's a colleague, she's a human being, she deserves a chance. How about that person from a minority group in an office where all the others happen to be from majorities? Well, that person is also a colleague. That person is not an enemy. If that person is brighter or looks more intelligent, more creative, more efficient, more proficient, that's a colleague, that's a team member. She is not an enemy. If that person is a young man, a millennial, or from Generation Z, well, that person is technologically savvy, more open, more outgoing. That's not an enemy. That's one of us. That's one of you. That's a colleague. Don't get scared of anybody. Nobody is your enemy. If a colleague has bought a new car and that car is unknown, don't get scared. He's not your enemy. He's not your competitor. He's your colleague. He's your team member. He's your team member, and as such, your cooperator. He's working together with you. Don't get intimidated. He's not your enemy. He's not fighting you. Cool down. Nobody is your enemy. At home, nobody is your enemy. If you're a child, everybody is a family member. If you're a lady, well, all the family members are with you. Nobody at home is your enemy. If you are a man, well, everybody in your household is not your enemy. Probably you may have been told certain things about the people you work with, the people you go to school with, or the people at home. Probably you were told they talked about this, or probably they are hiding something from you. Well, that's just talk. People talk. Nobody is your enemy. Why are we saying this? Peace is always important. At home, at work, in school, and elsewhere. Your safety, the safety of everyone, doesn't matter always. You, whether you are a child, whether you are an adult or a senior citizen, you are unique, authentic, original, special, created in the image of God. It doesn't matter whether you are male or female, young or old, leader or ordinary citizen. You are created in the image of God. So you have a right to be you. Your greatest right is the right to be you. You don't have to be intimidated in any way when other people do better than you, when other people look more intelligent than you, when other people buy new cars and you're struggling to get a car. You don't have to be intimidated. Nobody is your enemy. When you see somebody new from another tribe, from another ethnicity, or from another race, don't feel scared. I used to see a guy, every time I'd go to the bathroom, when he's there, he just rushes out as if the world or somebody from the moon has appeared. Every time he rushes out. Every time he gets his journey in the bathroom and rushes out. Every time. There's nothing strange in this world. Feel at home wherever you are with anybody. Feel at home. Nobody is your enemy. We are all human beings. You are special. Remember, you are original. You are unique. Don't harass that lady because she's a lady. She's not there to be seduced just because she's a lady. She's working. She's a student. Well, let her do her own things. That new guy, that new employee, or that old employee from that tribe, from that ethnicity, or from that area is your colleague. He's not there to spy on you. Don't harass him. Don't bully him in any way. He's not your enemy. Feel at home. Nobody is your enemy. So remember today, any person you see, any person you work with, any person you go to school with, any person you live with at home is not your enemy. That's a human being, a fellow human being. It is your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your sibling, your colleague, your neighbor, your workmate, your fellow classmate, your teacher, your fellow citizen. Nobody's your enemy. That's a human being. Special, just like you are. When you see other people doing better or more badly, they are not your enemy, or they are not inferior or superior to you. They are just human beings with dignity and rights just like you. You also have dignity and rights just like anyone else. You are special, unique, original, authentic. You are not a fake. You are not a fraud. Stand up confidently and face life with confidence. Nobody is against you. Nobody is your enemy. We are all human beings. We all have a right to coexist in the world. We must learn to coexist in harmony and peace. Why? Because you matter. I matter. That someone else matters. Everybody else matters. We share society. We share the world. We must coexist in harmony and peace. Nobody is your enemy. Nobody is my enemy. If you think you are an enemy to me, well, I know you aren't. If you think I'm an enemy to you, well, you are mistaken. If you think Mr. John Doe is your enemy, you are mistaken. Mr. John Doe, I, or anybody else, they are busy minding their own business. Also, sit down, do something, build your life. Nobody's against you. Nobody's your enemy. Feel confident. Face life always with confidence. Be a positive thinker. Portray a positive attitude always. Promote peace and safety where you are. Make sure you are safe all the time. Make sure other people around you or with you are safe all the time. Make sure you have peace all the time. Make sure people around you have peace all the time. For peace is all that matters.